good to know, what, and the the data on registered, that would be great to have. So maybe I can follow up with you about that.
The statewide, I'll have a note, and that's I'll follow up on that.
Mr. Kutcher.
Yes. And then, in terms of collecting data, again, my observation is that unless the company is promoting telecommuting as a way to recruit employees, that maybe they'll be willing to talk to you as a researcher, but they don't really want, partly because businesses just generally don't want their competitors to know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. It may be because they're allowing some departments to telecommute and not others, and they don't want to make a big, they don't want jealousy within their own organizations. Mm-hmm. That they aren't talking about it as much as, there may be more of it going on than we hear about. Yes, we don't collect anything. We don't have any specific questions, other than we're trying to get the actual work site, as Andy mentioned. So there may be stuff going on that they're not telling us, partly because we're not asking, and partly because businesses don't like to share information that they don't have to. It is very frustrating. We have meetings all the time on workforce development issues where we want employers to tell us about their workforce needs so that we can try to develop a program. Some are more forthcoming than others, but often the discussion basically just devolves to our taxes are too high. And it's like, okay, I understand businesses like to have lower taxes, but if you're not willing to show us a little bit more about what you really need, they have a right to their trade secrets.
Right.
They have a right to their company,
That's why we almost everything we collect is deemed confidential, because if we even the administrative data we collect is deemed confidential because of the survey programs and other things we do collect. If they thought we were sharing their internal information, they just wouldn't talk to us at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, I'm happy to, because obviously these trends are pretty relevant given that there's been stagnant. I know Connecticut has a lot of other sort of challenges and
opportunities.
Right. Opportunity, right. Yeah, I guess that's a positive way of spinning it.
The spin, man.
Yeah. But would this be useful to you as far as sort of, is this kind of, would it be useful to have the data on, the prevalence of remote work and where, is that something that'd be happy to share,
We're obviously very interested, and first of all, we serve everybody. Mm-hmm. Governor calls us, high school student doing a paper, we help serve everybody. But one of our main customers is the legislature. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while, some legislator will have some crazy idea of, I used to be a legislator. It's crazy idea okay, the way to get Connecticut's economy moving is we want to promote telecommuting.
Yeah.
So then they'll call us and say, what do you know about telecommuting? And right now we have to say, not much, but if we had your information, they'll say, well, somebody just wrote their dissertation about the Hartford area.
Right.
So we get questions all the time about stuff that we don't necessarily know a whole lot about. I wrote a report on cybersecurity recently because I don't know anything about cybersecurity, but the legislature mandated a report on cybersecurity written by the Labor Department, so okay, what?
Yeah. Data is data.
Yeah. Topics of interest around anything remotely related to the labor force.
Yeah.
We're always looking for.
Well,
it isn't today that for us that as a work culture pattern that telecommuting becomes a larger factor. Could well be tomorrow. And so anything you find out about what drives it will be helpful to us.
Yeah. I really did. I'm coming from a social policy school, so I'm not an economist or even a business person. So I came at this project sort of thinking about, what are the implications really from a workforce development? Are we training people who can live in, for an economy where jobs are actually physically in the economy, or you know, or global, or if they can be dispersed. Because I can tell you just sort of high level impressions. The companies that I've talked with, they're not. Most of them are not very sophisticated in terms of, you know, leveraging all the benefits of remote work. So things like labor arbitrage, you know, so companies being able to hire people who are for lower costs in other state, lower costs, hire people who work remotely for lower costs than they would in Connecticut. But they're moving in that direction. And then there is a globalization piece of this too, and that's another part of the research that I was most interested in, is that, you know, some of the more advanced companies are hiring globally now, and these aren't independent contractors. These are, you know, this is employees who are working, and that piece of it is something that companies that aren't yet there, they're wanting to move in that direction, and they're thinking about remote work as a strategy to do that. So it's, you know, obviously from a workforce development perspective.
My daughter's works for an ad agency in Boston, and her web development team was in Budapest.
Is that right? Were they employees or were they independent? Employees, yeah. It's interesting that the edifice of the office doesn't really. I mean,
well, and of course there are whole new industries. Now, for example, yesterday Andy and I were at Post University in Waterbury.
Yeah.
They have 10,000 online students, and all of that instruction is taking place in homes.
Right.
You know, the professors are, you know, in fact, she and I had a discussion about this where I sort of said the same thing. Well, you know, we haven't really seen a big increase in telecommuting. And she said, oh, no, it's huge. We've got hundreds of people, you know, she's talking about her professors.
Professors, yeah.
You know, we've got hundreds of people who work from home, and it's growing. Now, you know, so when I said I thought it kind of plateaued, I was thinking more like, you know, the Hartford and like the, you know, these other companies that sort of made a big telecommuting splash 5-6 years ago, and sort of, as far as I could tell, there's some back and forth, and you know, but you know, the whole customer service of the online retailer. I mean, you know, there's a whole raft of things that can happen in people's homes that are, you know, I mean, I'm sure there are people that are working for Amazon from their house who are answering those.
I know I've talked to customer service people, or I could hear babies crying in the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Think of them though; they have whining in both ears.
Right.
Yeah.
Like during the whole Yahoo saga, was it Melissa Mayer?
Marissa Meyer, yeah.
She famously said no more telecommuting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they got bought out by Verizon. So some of the, I mean, you know, IBM, when they rolled back, a lot of the discussion about it online among was about this move to bring people back in the office was actually a layoff move, you know, cloaked in rolling back, because there was no way that, you know, for 40 years, I mean, however long, 40 years IBM had this policy, people were living everywhere, and they didn't necessarily live next to a hub, you know, an IBM hub. So asking them to come back to the office, for many of them, meant that uproot your entire life and move. And so that led to a lot of layoffs. And so what was being kind of promoted as we're trying to, and then there was the piece that I've heard from people who work at IBM saying this really wasn't, it was kind of a PR misrepresentation. It was just that engineering and innovation staff that we were asking to come back to the office. And Aetna, I mean, it's, you know, it's not clear, because if you look online and you see that Aetna has lots of remote work jobs, so it sounds like what they're probably doing is something similar. It's in engineering, it's innovation types of
people that they
functions.
do better from synergy together.
Exactly, but the rest, anything that it doesn't involve that is probably, you know, I mean, I don't think they're, it sounds like they're not going to roll back on those. I haven't, you know, I don't know really about Aetna, but that would be my impression. But anyway, but I appreciate it. You know, thank you so much for taking your time to speak with me, and for, you know, offer. I mean, the
Yeah, I will
different
follow up
data
definitely on
points.
this.
It's really
one,
helpful.
This one
Yeah.
piece is, I think, is the one homework assignment I have.
QCW.
So
Yeah, that would be great. And
Okay.
if there's any, and I will be in touch with my results and happy to share
Great.
anything I find out.